Today is day 8 of my 30-day challenge where I am trying to post every day, staying consistent, sharing with you guys what the day-to-day looks like as a subcontractor in the construction trades. I am back out here in the wood shop working on those custom cabinets and panels I started on yesterday. Today I plan on getting those panels finished up. Just need to cut the remaining pieces and get it all glued together. From there, I will go ahead and continue on with our cut sheets and whatever else is needed to complete the cabinets throughout the house. If you guys are enjoying these videos, be sure to let me know down in the comments below and smash that like button. Okay, so I just finished setting this router table. Right now I have a 1/2 inch mortar seam bit in here. What that does is just cuts a groove in here. I don't know if you guys can hopefully see that a little bit. So what we need to do for this is it will actually slip onto our 1/2 inch sheets here. It'll go right on the edge, and that groove will just lock in there pretty much. If I can get it to go on there, there it goes. So that groove just locks it on there, and then we will put some glue inside of there, clamp it all together, and then be ready for the job site. So now that we have our grooves cut in all of our pieces, on this one I need to go ahead and glue an extra strip on here because we need this to be at least 8 inches wide, and right now it is at 7 1/4. So I'll go ahead and get this glued up right now. So while that piece is drying, I am working on getting our panels ready. So for these, we are taking our maple face frames that we cut our groove in just a little bit ago, and I'm just applying a little bit of glue to this groove. And then what we'll do is we will go ahead and put this on the side of our panel. And what these panels are is it's what separates the cabinetry from the fridge or the washer and dryer. Whatever it may be, we like to separate those using some panels just to make it look like finished cabinetry. So that is what I'm doing now, is just getting these glued together. I've got a couple minutes left here before lunchtime, so I'm going to try to get this second panel glued up before I go. That way it can set up and dry while I am gone. So let's get this done. So, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and let this set up and dry, go grab some lunch, and I will see you guys in a little bit. So I'm back from lunch now. I got that panel moved out of the way off to the side there. And now I got the little cabinet that goes above the fridge sitting in front of me. Obviously it is in pieces right now. So let me go ahead and sort this out quick. These are our two sides for the cabinet box. This is our back panel. We will start with that one. And these are our tops and bottoms. Just gonna take this one. This is my good side, so I want that side facing up to the sky. Just gonna go ahead and take the sides now. Or, how does that? Hang on, I'm slightly confused. Something's not right. So that's for sure my... So those are my sides then. What in the world? Hang on, I'm slightly confused. So I figured it out. We need to go ahead and remake our top and bottom pieces. Let me see if I can put this on here just so you guys can see. As you can see, that piece is too short. It needs to come all the way up to this one. We must have just made a wrong measurement. That is this measurement right there. It says 10.5, which technically on a regular upper cabinet, that would be correct if it was a 12-inch depth cabinet. But since this one goes above the fridge, it actually needs to be 29.5 inches deep. So we need to just remake those tops and bottoms real quick, and then we will go ahead and get this cabinet assembled. Okay, so before I can actually rip those two pieces I need for this little cabinet, I noticed that the dust wasn't being cleared away from the table saw very well. So I went ahead and checked our dust collector, and it appears that we are completely full, or full enough to where it's not allowing that dust to be cleared away anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this emptied out real quick, and then we will go ahead and get those pieces ripped. This thing is pretty heavy, so unfortunately I can't just pick it up and dump it. I've got to go grab a little bucket and try to shovel some over until I can get that light enough to dump it easier. So let me go find a little bucket and I'll get this emptied out quick. Okay, we've got our correct bottom and tops now. I will go ahead and get these put in. Let me just double check. That is a lot better. Nice and flush up there now. I need a couple drills and some screws. First one is always the hardest. So I just finished up that cabinet that goes above the fridge in the kitchen. Now I am jumping onto our second drawing here. This one is for the pantry closet. And I need to make another one of those panels that I made earlier, as well as another cabinet that will go above the fridge in the pantry. So let's get this one knocked out, and hopefully we can do this one a little bit quicker.
My drill is dead. What are the odds? Let me grab another battery. Three bars. Ready to rock and roll now. All right, that's that little cabinet done for up above the fridge in the pantry cabinet. So that is board number 2 done. Let's go ahead and jump into board number 3. So actually, before I move on to our next board, I'm gonna go ahead and make the face frames for our board number 1 and 2, since we have those 2 little cabinets. I just wanna get those all completely finished. That way tomorrow, if the other guys are looking for something to do, they can grab this and take it to the job site and get it installed. So let's go ahead and make these face frames real quick. I've already got some material cut down to some rough lengths that we need. All I need to do now is just go ahead and rip all of these down to 1 7/8 inches, which this one is just about there. I need to take just a little bit more off of it. Okay, now we just need to get these planed down so we've got nice clean edges, and we'll be ready to get these assembled. So like I said, we're just gonna get these planed down so we can get them assembled. Okay, now we are ready to get these assembled. So in order to figure out what we need to cut our rails at, what we need to do is take our 2 stiles, put those side by side, make sure they are tight, and then take our tape measure. We know that our finish dimension for our face frame is going to be 32 7/8. So what I'm going to do now is take 32 7/8, put that on this side of our 2 boards here. So I'm at 32 7/8 right there. And then I want to look at whatever is showing on this side of the board. That will be what I cut my 2 rails at. So right now, I am 29 1/16. So I will go ahead and cut those 2 to that now. Now the last thing we need to do before I can go ahead and assemble this is I need to get some pocket holes put in our two rails on both ends of each board. So the main thing I need to do is just look at both sides of each of these and determine which is going to be our good side and our bad side. So right now I am kind of thinking that that is going to be our bad side of both of these boards. Not really too much wrong with either side, just has a little bit more of that grain showing, and we want to try to just get a little bit of the straight grain as opposed to some of these. So we'll put our good side facing down on those, and let's go ahead and get some pocket holes. Okay, we are ready to get this thing assembled now. Let me get this all cleared off and we will get it assembled. Okay, so we are ready to assemble this face frame. So what I like to do is just like to kind of get everything I'm not using out of the way off to the side, and we will start with our first style lined up with the edge of our table here. Let's actually stay off the edge so that way I can get a clamp on it. So all we're going to do is we're going to take this clamp right here and some glue. Make sure that's open, we're good. Then the other thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep the glue towards the back side. That way it is not squeezing out the front. Since these are going to be stained cabinets, we want to make sure that we're not going to have any of those glue lines that won't accept any of the stain. So, little tip there for you guys. Just a little bit of glue like that. Make sure it's lined up. Nice and flush with this bottom edge. And then get your clamp put on there. Double check. Pretty good. Let me, just a little tap, yep. Make sure that thing is clamped down pretty good. Then we're just going to take 2 of our Craig screws. These are 1 1/4 inch, I believe. Oop, dropped one. And then we've got our square drive right here to go ahead and get these screwed in. Make sure you are clutched on the drill, otherwise it has a tendency to crack this other board when it hits the end of this and wants to continue going. If it's clutched, it will stop itself. Boom. First one done. Ooh. All right, now we just got to get those seams puttied and sanded. Then this one will be done. Just one more face frame to do. I think, however, I am going to go ahead and putty this really quick and then get the other one assembled. That way I can just sand both of them at the same time, and that will probably take up the last 15 minutes or so of the day here. So let's get that done. If you guys have never used the putty before on wood products like this, the biggest thing I will say is definitely go extra on what you think you're going to need, because you're going to have to sand it anyways, so you're going to hit all that high spots. Now, there's kind of a point where it's a little too excessive, but you'd rather have enough on there so that way you don't have to go back and do it 2 or 3 times until you get that nice smooth coat all the way across. So just a little bit of information there for you guys. All right, we'll set this one to the side and get the other one assembled. Well, I am pretty much out of time for today, so we will go ahead and pick up on this again tomorrow morning. We will be routing the inside of this with just a 1/16 inch round over bit. That's just to ease this sharp edge. That way, whenever somebody's reaching inside of the cabinet, you're not cutting yourself potentially. So we will get that done tomorrow and continue on with the rest of our cabinetry that we need to make. If you guys did enjoy this video or the rest of this series, be sure to hit that like button and drop a comment down below so that way I know what kind of videos to put out in the future. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.